Could we actually be able to resurrect Cayde 6 in the Forsaken DLC and the raid The Last Wish? That is what we're going to be talking about today, guys. Omycodd here. Welcome to a nice theory video that I've come up with. This is something that I've been thinking about since we first found out that the Forsaken raid is going to be called The Last Wish. And we had quite a bit of rumors going into that we were going to have one of the raid bosses being an Ahamkara. And if you're familiar with Destiny lore, the Ahamkara are dragon-like creatures that were actually supposedly wiped to extinction by guardians, specifically mostly warlocks. And these dragon-like creatures were actually able to grant wishes, supposedly. They were very knowledgeable, hence why they were seeked out and initially killed and brought to extinction by the Guardians. And we're just going to be discussing some of the lore, some of the support for this theory, and how we could potentially be able to resurrect Cayde 6 after his death at the hands of Aldrinsov in the Forsaken DLC raid, The Last Wish, which actually comes out a week from today, next Friday, September 14th. So I thought this was a good time to make this video. I've been thinking about it for a couple days. Now that Forsaken's actually here, a couple weeks really, now that Forsaken's actually here though, I figured it would be a good time to make this video explain it. We do have some gameplay of just a heroic adventure for today going on in the background. I was just doing that for some powerful gear, just wanted a gameplay to go in the background. But really the focus of this video is going to be on the Ahamkara, the Last Wish raid that's releasing next week, and the potential for us being able to actually revive or resurrect Cayde 6 after him being killed by Aldrinsov. So let's get right into it. Spoiler alerts, obviously. For this Forsaken DLC, we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that happens post-Forsaken campaign. So if you guys have not completed the campaign and don't want any spoilers, probably click off this video at this time, because we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that happens afterwards, particularly in the Dreaming City with Petra, some stuff about Mara, as well as Aldrin and his role in this entire theory. So once we finish the campaign in Forsaken, for those of you who have done it, if not, you can go ahead and watch my video. I completed it in one of my streams. There's plenty of info out there on that. But basically, you find out a crap ton of stuff about the Dreaming City, really what was going on with Aldrin. The Queen, obviously Mara, she's still alive in Throne Realm, supposedly. And we get some new information about Riven. And that's going to be really the focus of this video. Riven is actually an Ahamkara, which to this point we assumed were extinct. That's what we were told based on the current Destiny lore. We're now aware that Riven is supposedly alive, and whether or not she's in her original state or if she's become taken at the hands of Savathun, we really don't know much of that at this point. There's lots of rumors that Savathun may be involved and behind all of this stuff in the Dreaming City, but we're really unsure as of now. But what we do know is that Riven, an Ahamkara, one of these dragon-like creatures that can grant wishes, is still alive somewhere in the Dreaming City. Perhaps with Mara, working with Mara. We don't really know, honestly. There's some lore on Riven from the Dreaming City book in Destiny 2. I'm just going to kind of read it. So it says, Mara sits cross-legged in the canopy shade of Riven's wing. She wets the pad of her thumb with the tip of her tongue, then uses the moisture to hold a bundle of fresh-picked asphodelia in place. She ties off the stems with the length of silk-spun gold thread, then begins the mindless busywork of braiding in all the expected accoutrements: a serrated fane, a shotgun shell, a cloudy amethyst crystal. Riven turns to watch. On this day, her head is the size of a fallen pike. So, just an aside, we've seen some of the Ahamkara bones. If you guys have seen previous exotic gear pieces from Destiny 1 and Destiny, we have like lots of Ahamkara gauntlets. We have the skull of Dire Ahamkara. I don't know if these were scaled down to fit Guardians, but the size of a fallen pike that's pretty large. So to give you a scope of the idea of the size of these creatures, and we don't even know if this was when she was full grown. So anyway, back to it. So her head is the size of a fallen pike. She is vibrant blue with a yellow and red crest, and her pupils are crescents within her lidless eyes. After a time, she says, Madad is dead, but you make him no bouquet. Mare looks up, struck by the novelty of the moment. She studies Riven and swallows the first words that come to her tongue, which are, Madad's bones are whispering at this very moment on Venus. Instead, she asks, you mourn him? That crescent pupil contracts as thin as sickle's edge. No. Having found the true answer, Mara resumes her work. A while passes in silence until she says, Ahamkara have no traditions. No. No sentiment. No. Mara bites off a piece of thread. Why'd you allow my brother to spirit you away? You know this truth, wise queen. He is so full of succulence. Why do you roost here when there is rich hunting beyond my reef? Truly I say to you, here Mara hides a small smile. The awoken have entrusted what will be you to their queen, and thus they are all as dry as stone to me. Pleasantly so, for wetness is sweet feed, but dry stone is a friendly basking place. You are as hot and flat as the plateaus of Mercury, and your heat stirs my blood to move. Mara nods and says nothing more, though she thinks a while on the three-parted curse used by Ahamkara to mark their prey, the shackle between appellated and appalling. When she finishes her memorial bouquet, she unfolds herself and rises to stretch. Riven does the same, and as she relaxes, she spreads and shuffles and shakes her pinions until they lie straight. The land around them is shapeless rock that will become an abode to those left behind. Mara will honor her enemies and friends alike in stone. She will build grand cathedrals veneered in amethyst and agate. Riven butts her rounded snout under Mara's hands and waits. Let us find Cayde, Mara says. So that's some of the lore on Riven that we've gotten since Destiny 2 Forsaken has come out. We know she's an Ahamkara, we know she's alive, and we know she's working directly with Mara and has been. So I looked into the lore a little bit more, and the reason that Riven was not known about is that Aldrin actually took Riven as a baby Ahamkara and gifted her to Mara. So she's been with Mara for as long as we really know, honestly. And Aldrin played a direct role in that. And honestly, they didn't care too much about him because they just went off and lured him to the Dreaming City and basically ended up killing him. So for those of you that don't know, Riven was the one that really lured Aldrin and was influencing him to come to the Dreaming City with the Traveler Shard. So whether that was under Mara's instruction or Riven was acting independently, we don't really know. And if you noticed at the end of the campaign too, we heard from Mara, and she really didn't give a crap that Aldrin died. She's like, yeah, I know. Basically like, whatever, I don't give a crap. I don't care, he's my brother, he's dead, whatever. So really no one liked Aldrin, not even his sister, so it's kind of funny. He sort of just got shafted big time and just used. Total tool. Some more just general lore on the Ahamkara. If you guys have been to Io, obviously everyone has seen this if you've played Destiny 2. There's just huge bones. I think that's more likely the scale of Ahamkara and what size they were, because those are supposedly Ahamkara bones. They look like just giant dragon bones. That's really the most direct picture we have of Ahamkara. We don't know what they look like with their flesh and skin when they're alive, so I'm really excited to see that. And I kind of hope that Riven isn't taken, because we're not going to actually be able to see her in all her beauty and what the Ahamkara actually look like if she's taken, but we're just going to have to wait and see when the Last Wish raid releases next week. So some general lore on the Ahamkara as a species. So they were first encountered by humans on Venus, thought to resemble dragons, or said to resemble dragons rather, and they were exterminated actually by order of the Tower. So again, the Guardians were the ones that wiped these to extinction supposedly, although apparently they missed one, so nice job. The Ahamkara appeared sometime after the Traveler terraformed Venus, so after the Traveler era, but sometime between then and now they've been wiped to extinction. They were described as the dragons that made promises, and Guardians made deals with them for their knowledge and power. But apparently the price of the deals was too high. That's why the Tower actually ordered the Ahamkara to become extinct, and it was called the Great Ahamkara Hunt, in which they were wiped to extinction. So again, there's evidence of the lore that it was mostly warlocks that were responsible, but some non-warlocks were also involved. So following the extinction, they were still of interest to Guardians. They're still studied, and the lore is kind of like a dark sort of topic to the Guardians because of their role in that. It's sort of like, I think of it sort of like the Holocaust almost in a way. We wiped these species to extinction just because we were making deals. They seem kind of innocent, honestly, in my opinion. So it made promises / wishes / they're just very knowledgeable. So it's kind of cloudy in that sense, and that's where this theory is sort of a stretch. But then again, the raid being called the Last Wish, I don't know. Whether or not that's referring to the Last Wish as this is the last Ahamkara, I think that's where they're naming the raid that. But if these do indeed grant wishes, and to the extent where they would be able to bring someone back to life, how perfect is that? I just think it fits perfectly. This whole campaign and this DLC has been about avenging Cayde 6. Cayde died. What if we somehow encounter this Ahamkara, whether we help it out, whether we kill it, and that's how you get the wish? I really don't know. We know so little. That's why this theory is super possible. And you know what? I get it's probably a little far-fetched, but I just wanted to get it out there and see what other people thought. And I don't honestly think it's going to happen. Do I think it's likely? No. Do I think it would be freaking awesome and we were able to just bring Cayde back to the dead with this Ahamkara and being able to have our wishes granted? I think that would be so cool. I'm pretty sure there was stuff with the voice actor for Cayde. I know they just got a recent one, and that was part of the reason they decided to kill him off, but I don't know. I just think it would be so cool. I think it's an awesome theory, and I don't know. I really want to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, please, on this theory. How cool would it be if we could revive Cayde 6? Do you guys think it's fine that he's dead? Do you want him to stay dead? I mean, I don't know. And again, there's likely a role for the Taken here with Savathun, which is Oryx's sister, I believe, being involved. There's been a lot of Taken influence in the Dreaming City, so there's obviously stuff going on there. So whether or not Riven and Mara are acting on their own accord, or whether they're being influenced by Savathun, or even working with Savathun, we really don't know. I'm super excited. I think this could arguably be one of the best raids in Destiny history, honestly. The story is just absolutely incredible. So you guys will have to let me know what you think down in the comments section. I would love to hear it. What do you think of this theory? Do you think it would be great if we could bring Cayde 6 back? Do you guys want him to stay dead? Do you think we've avenged him already? What's done is done. Let me know your thoughts, please. Go ahead, like and subscribe for more content. If you are looking forward to the Forsaken Raid, The Last Wish, I'll be obviously completing that next weekend, hopefully, and bringing you all the updated story and stuff on that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the theory, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.